to be equally good.
The show has taken agenda cards, but anyway, they say Beijing, whatever agreement was signed there. But our top story today, Mccarthy, the Bafana former striker, is in town and is set to be unveiled as the new Harambee Stars head coach this afternoon. And of course, there he goes. I'll start with you, Jacob. First of all, first things first, what do you make of this move by FKF?
I'm excited in many ways, both from the left and from the right. But on Monday next week, God willing, on this set,
excitement will translate into results.
On this set, God willing, next Monday, I'll tell you whether my excitement now is going to remain fixed on the right or on the left. The reason being that I'll be at the Serena. You mentioned that it was supposed to be at KCC. Now it has moved to Serena. Okay. At around 1:45, I'll be there, of course, to say hi to Benny. Karibu sana Benny to Kenya. And I'll be there. And really, excitement for two reasons. Number one is to look at the card of the coach we are having. Benny, his achievements as a player, there's no debate about it. He has gone to the highest levels. Number two, also as a coach, he has gone to the highest levels. Remember, just recently he was coaching Manchester United, the forwards.
Coach, yeah.
Now,
the troubled Manchester United.
Yeah. Of course, not the one of Theatre of Dreams many years ago.
Yes.
And really, that is actually the first area of my mixed reactions about it. Because if I remember the words of his predecessor, that is Engin Firat, he was always crying foul about our facilities here in Kenya. And I would always remind people here that if you don't want to associate with us the way we are, just stay away from us.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Yeah.
So really, I hope that Benny knows our landscape the way it is. And he won't compare Kasarani Annex and Carrington.
And Porto.
And Porto.
Yeah.
You know, Manchester United, they trained at Carrington.
Yeah.
So I hope...
But I'm told there's a lot of rats at Carrington.
You're told so?
Yeah, that's true.
So with rats or without,
why are you poking
I hope for
why
sure
are you guys poking
he won't compare that, because you remember one time there was a match at Kasarani main stadium, and the Stars were training at the annex. You have never seen the kind of fear that Firat had when he saw just a few commotions of the Mashemejis, not even the real thing that used to happen at City Stadium that time.
Yes.
Onyayo. Yeah. And he was so scared. So basically, I'm trying to say, I want to believe that he knows the kind of the country is coming to, what we have. I hope he knows, for example, that this month, March, we are going to play our World Cup qualifiers. I don't know really whether it's going to be here. It was mentioned we may have a General Stadium. That is number one, Sweden. But then number two is the idea of the demands that we have as Kenyans. I know we welcome Benny with both hands today because of the star he has been and, of course, every achievement. But Kenya is a very demanding country.
Very demanding.
I hope he's aware of everything that is awaiting him, so that by the time we are talking 2 years later, we would want to have a good one about Benny.
Absolutely. A legend through and through, not just for the Bafana, but Africa at large, Wakili Brenda. And the question is, what did it take to get Benny here?
Well, my main hope, major hope is there have been questions about the mystery surrounding or shrouding coach's contract, national team coach's contracts, and who they come with and what the budget is. I hope for the first time we will have these answered so that Kenyans know what they are spending on. Because this is a team coach that comes in. He's not coming alone. He's coming with a team of 3 other people. Yeah. And we'd want to know how much he's spending. Is it worth it? Because we saw what happened with Firat.
Actually, the speculation in South Africa, or what the South African press, they're really following this closely, and they are claiming he signed a 1.2 million rand salary, which you convert here, that's around 8 million Kenyan shillings. 8 million, yeah. That's a staggering amount.
Yeah, but let's wait and see if the details would be laid bare, because again, we look at the monies that are supposed to be paid allegedly versus the expectations and what, because again, it may not go, he may have all these qualifications, but the mere fact that he has not coached any national team, he has not coached a a national team, especially in Africa, with all the challenges that that are being faced locally here, it may not be easy for him as a beginning, but then is he ready for that? Because we saw what happened with Firat. He came in, overpromised, and under-delivered, and was also very rude, and at some point he claimed we did not have talent. So here is a country that are highly expecting that you're coming in with your big qualifications, but you're coming to start from scratch, from rebuilding the players' confidence to reassuring the country that they actually have talent.
And they can do well.
But what makes me happy is the people that he is coming around with. We are largely moving our sports from just the physical to also the data, but we see that he's tagging along a performance analyst. So we hope that translates to better fielding, better scouting, and what opportunities will it even open to the team generally, because good performance will definitely translate to a build-up of at least just seeing that our national team rises.
Danny, the Stars job is not just a hot seat, it's a poisoned chalice, I call it. Yeah. Right now, probably in that room at Serena where I see I would be, there'll be roaring laughter, there will be excitement, signing of, how do you call it?
The contract.
Not the contract, actually it's already signed. But probably gonna sign replica jerseys and the fans and his admirers.
The autographs.
Autographs, that's the word. But sooner rather than later, he'll realize Kenyans are very impatient. If he doesn't deliver, he could be a legend, but he won't get very, very good reviews.
Yeah, so that's true. But again, I always say, like, a coach is as good as the supporting structures. If the supporting structures are not functional, his chances of success is succeeding, I mean, are very minimum. So I feel like, as you say, it is a poison chalice, but at the end of the day, you must also look at the kind of environment it's going to operate in. For the longest time, I think the most successful coach in our recent history, I think over the past 2 decades, could be Kimanzi or Ghost Mule. So if we can somehow go past what they achieved, I think he will come out as a respective person. But again, at the end of the day, we have to look at the fact that he has not coached in an African country that could weigh him down. But at the end of the day, I feel like the fact that he has exposure, it could also play to the advantage. Like, he has been to the most professionally run organizations, and also the fact that he is very experienced with African football could also give him an advantage. But at the end of the day, I feel like let's give him time, let him come, set up his national team the way he wants it, do proper scouting of the talents that we have locally and abroad. And the most immediate task is expected to accomplish is help us qualify for AFCON next year. But again, you have to look at the wider context of us hosting the 2027th version of it. And again, the kind of optimism that we have right now as a country, the proper infrastructure being built. We have the Talanta, Kasarani being renovated, the lakes of Nyayo. The country at the moment is very optimistic. And given what the previous regime established, most Kenyans feel like it's a new dawn for new things to come. And if he could be the guy who could lead us to the next heaven, I think he could come out as someone who was done proud.
Zita, let's face it, I don't really envy Benny because he's taking over Harambee Stars when we are midway through the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, which we're already doing very badly. I think we are in position 4, if I'm not wrong.
But not midway, really. At least I think we played 2, right?
Played 2. I think we played 3, if I'm not wrong.
We played 2.
We played 2.
Yes.
Now, those 2 have not been very, very good results, and he's under pressure to turn it around. If he does that, we'd probably sing all the praises if he puts us there on the plane to America in 2026 World Cup. Be as it may, we missed out on the chance to go to Morocco. That's AFCON, I think later this year in December.
Agonizingly so.
Yeah, absolutely. His work is clearly cut out.
One thing I'll say that I'm really happy with, it's because he's coming with his own team. Talk about the assistant coach, talk about the goalkeeping coach, talk about the data analyst, meaning that all his team will be working towards one goal, making Harambee Stars a good team. Because there've been a lot of speculations during even during Firat time, saying that we have a coach from Bandari, the goalkeeper coach was from Bandari. Everyone was like, anachaguanga huyo kwa sababu ni wa Bandari, ametoka Bandari. seeing the assistant coach was it Modo from
Anthony,
yes. Yeah.
No,
the assistant coach of Firat was from...
It was Odiambo from Bandari and
Bandari.
Kanu from
Yes.
Kariobangi Sharks.
Yes. So it was like a lot of things like wako hapo wanaleta players wao because they are in these teams, wanajuana na nani, unajua.
So you feel
we are
getting
not
a foreign coach actually
a foreign coach
get rid of this.
Yes,
yeah.
all this speculation, because at the end of it, before you influence a team of 4, you have to have a very good strategy of doing that. But again, for me, I will just have to say that that is something that I'm looking for. And then something else is we need to know the terms of the contract. Is it the a performing contract, or is it the money contract? You know,
performance-related clauses.
Yes, yes, in his contract. Because at the end of it, if we miss out maybe in the World Cup qualifiers, because of course he's not the person who started with the team, will give him like a doubt. But again, we have to be in the as much as we are hosting 2027 AFCON, we have to be in good books performing outside there. So let's hope and give him what he needs with his team for the few maybe for a year or few months that we'll
That's
see.
good. We'll
let me say something. There's something that Brenda mentioned, and I didn't want actually to comment about it. That's why you say in my remarks I was so restricted. But because she has opened that door, allow me to at least mention something about it. You see, in our first conversation about the Lionesses and their good performance in South Africa, she said about how we treat our ladies in sports and men. Now, you know, I didn't want to talk about that rumor from South Africa about 8 million Kenya shillings, because I want to talk about it after it is confirmed at the Serena. You understand?
And probably they won't confirm it.
But I'll ask that one. My good friend Jeff must. Jeff, I'm coming and I'm going to ask that when I come there. So this is the thing. You know, we have our very own Belino Demba, and last week she did what nobody has done before with our national team. And again, I will say again, you look at the friendlies our ladies played last time.
Vis-a-vis the men's, yeah.
Vis-a-vis the men's. And still, they have done what they have done. You understand? When the audit reports by the audit committee by Hussein Mohammed, our FKF president, was done, one of the issues they raised with the past regime was the disparity in the way staff have been paid before at the FKEF. Now, I would want to hear, really, if this is going to be the truth that is going to be unveiled, we would want to hear how Beldin is
being paid. Yes.
And vis-a-vis.
Yes, true.
Because really, she's a CAF-A. She's doing what she's doing. We would want to know her contract, how it is, the kind of support she's getting. Because I remember before we flew to Tunisia for that match, there was a lot of pressure on her. There was a lot of pressure on her. And the question would be, what is the kind of support she's going to get? Because if our team, we have taken the girls to World Cup through Cheche, you understand? And now we are smelling AFCON because I believe that beaten Tunisia. If Beldin is given a chance to be with this team until October when they play Gambia,
a chance of going
so
to
that is
AFCON.
a major thing. But Danny also mentioned something that is very important. And Zita actually alluded to it, the idea of coming with backroom staff from South Africa. Now, I am not sure how well Benny knows our local players. He may know something about Olunga, Victor Wanyama, and the rest.
How about those playing their trade here?
Now, when I look at the time between now and the time we are going to play Gambia and Gabon, it's quite a short time. So I don't know how much really support is going to get from the locals to prepare the team, because it will be very bad for him to start on a losing note, or maybe even a draw, having actually seen how he performed in the
But that shouldn't be a problem, because we are not assuming that there has been a vacuum. Kimanzi has been taking care of the team, well aware that there is this fixture that you're supposed to be playing, I think, on the 24th of this month. So I think with proper support, he should be able to, and if we gave Firat time, I mean, we should be able to give.
Are you anticipating?
No, there has not been a vacuum.